Hello my dear viewers and welcome again to English with Mr. Ikrami channel. Today we have a very interesting lesson in grammar. We have to deal with modal verbs in English. We have a lot of modal verbs in English and most of them are so familiar with us. For example, we have can, could, may, must, have to, should, need to, etc. But what are modal verbs? Modal verbs in English are, and in simple words, they are those verbs which help other verbs. So we can say that they are so kind verbs. Modal verbs are used to express some ideas. What are these ideas? Let's have a look. We have to study these examples carefully. First of all, we are going to start with can. I can read stories in English. I can read stories in English. This to express ability in present. And also we can say, can I have a cup of tea please? And this is a polite request. And we can say, can I use your pen? And this is asking for permission. Now let's move on to could. I could ride a bike when I was young. I could ride a bike when I was young. This to express ability in the past. And also I can say, could I use your mobile please? And this is also a polite request. So when we want to make a polite request, we can say can, and also we can say could. We have may. May I leave early today, sir? And this is asking for permission also. And we may say, she may get the job. She may get the job. And this is to express possibility. We can also use might. She might be ill. And this is also to express possibility. And we have will. So famous word, will. New factories will be built next year. This is to express certainty in English. I'm sure about something is going to happen in the future. And we can use would. Would you like to drink coffee? Would you mind lending me some money? So in these two examples, we use would to make a polite request also. And we can use shall. We can use shall in two situations. We can use shall to make an offer and also to make a suggestion. For example, shall I wait for you? This is offer. Shall we go to the park? This is a suggestion. And we can use two modal verbs, should and ought to give advice. You should go to the doctor. You ought to have a break. Should and ought to are both used to give advice. We use need to express necessity. It's necessary for you to do something. You need to see a doctor at once. But what if we want to express lack of necessity in present and in the past? In present I can say don't need to or doesn't need to. And in the past I use didn't need to. So in present I can say you don't need to go to school. He doesn't need to wash the dishes. And in the past I can say we didn't need to take a taxi yesterday. Also I can use a different way to express lack of necessity in the past. I can use needn't have. He needn't have hurried. He wasn't late. But we have to put into consideration that after needn't have we use past participle, not the infinitive form of the verb. Have to and has to. Have to and has to are both used to express obligation in present. You have to get a passport to travel abroad. He has to join the army. This is in the present simple tense. But what if we want to express obligation in the past? Then I have to use had to. They had to leave the party early yesterday. This is obligation in the past. And in the future, when I want to express obligation, I use will have to. You will have to help your mother tomorrow. we have a very important expression, a very important modal verb. We use must for obligation in present. You must help the poor. But now we have to focus on a very important point. What is the difference between have to, has to, had to, and will have to, and must? In fact, have to, has to, had to, will have to are used to express, to reflect outer obligation. But must is used to reflect inner obligation. When we want to reflect lack of necessity in present, we can use don't or doesn't have to. You don't have to go to school. He doesn't have to wash the dishes. And also in the past we can use didn't have to. We didn't have to take a taxi yesterday. This is to show lack of necessity in the past. But what about the future? In the future, we use won't have to plus infinitive to express lack of necessity. You won't have to go to school next Monday. But what about prohibition? What if we want to say that something is not allowed? Then we use mustn't. You mustn't smoke in hospital. Thank you so much. I hope you made the best use of this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel English with Mr. Ikrami. Thank you so much and goodbye.